and 95.3 FM HD4. We're also on TuneIn Radio. And I just tuned us into Facebook as we are live streaming on Facebook as well. We are live streaming on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. And this is the Cindy's Toy Show, and I am Cindy. It is my absolute honor to be able to host this show and to make a positive impact in our community. I do that with a special focus on community initiatives and an extra special focus on community collaboration, which we have some good examples of here today. To get started, though, I want to go ahead and introduce our first guest, and then he's going to help me talk about our awesome sponsor.
I sure will.
Hi, David McNabb.
Hello, Cindy Deering.
David, it is so great to have you on the show today, and I so appreciate you being here.
Appreciate the invitation. We're glad to be here.
And listener, David is the executive director of Teen Challenge Mid-South Adult Center.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
And he's been in that position since March of this year that's almost over.
That's right. Finish up our first.
That's always odd when the year's almost over, because we all know how fast the years are getting by now. But I bet it's been a really fast year for you, David.
Yeah, we've learned a lot of stuff in 9 months. We surely have. Really
awesome.
Great time.
And I'm so excited to have you on, because I've been getting braver about sharing my own story. Mm-hmm. And I've had some challenges as a teen, as a youth, as an adult. Right. So I really relate and absolutely just appreciate so much what this organization is doing. And I've had some other representatives mm-hmm. from your group on. Help me, Eldridge.
Derek Elledge, our media director.
Elledge, yeah, I was putting both of his names together right. there. He's been on, and I loved sharing about some of the fundraising events that you have and so forth, mm-hmm. and the great good that you're doing in the community.
Well, we appreciate that.
It is such a challenge to rewire your thinking.
It is.
That to me, that's simply what it is. It's when you're conditioned and your brain is hardwired mm-hmm. a certain way, just getting the knowledge and the understanding that, okay, I'm wired wrong isn't enough.
Well, I was in church ministry for 25 years, and we saw the effects of addiction from a church member's viewpoint. But these last 9 months, I've had the really unique blessing, I'm going to say, to have the opportunity to see it from the addict standpoint. And it is heartbreaking to see the struggles they go through. And so, but we also get to see victories, and that's why we're here today.
Exactly. I've never had chemical addictions, mm-hmm. but addictions are addictions. There's life addictions that still are very, like I said, I can't relate. I don't want to discount how difficult it must be mm-hmm. to have chemical fixed addictions in your body. Yeah. But it's the same in your rewiring your brain. Takes the same kind of effort. It's an always thing. Substance
is one issue, but environment is another. And depending on how we've grown up in our homes, whatever we've had to deal with, that has a lot to do to wire us, as you say, to make us the person that we are. And sometimes those wires get crossed.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go ahead and ask you right up front for the contact information on Teen Challenge. And I'm going to ask you again at the end, because that's really important. And I want to know, I want to be sure our listener knows how to support a cause like Teen Challenge. So what is the best way for people to check you out, get more involved, contribute time-wise mm-hmm. or monetary-wise? Right.
I know you hear this all the time, but the best way to get in touch with us really is through our website mm-hmm. at tcmidsouth.org. On that website, we have a rundown. We have great video. We have all kinds of photographs. There's also applications. So if anyone happens to know someone in their family where Teen Challenge may be an option, or at least you're thinking about being an option, everything about the program is on the website. So really, that's usually the first welcome that we get to extend to somebody is on our website.
That's awesome. Gotta love technology, social media. It does make it easy. Mm-hmm. And that's TC, like Teen Challenge, tcmidsouth.org.
You got it.
Now, I'm really excited. I promoted the 5K mm-hmm. that Teen Challenge had as a fundraiser this summer. And I got to witness some testimonies while I was at the event myself. Uh-huh. And I was like, oh my goodness, I approached you right away. I want to do this on the radio. Mm-hmm. There's nothing more powerful than the there I was stories, the true testimonies of life-changing support and help in your life.
Right.
So you brought a posse.
A posse is one word. I'll take that.
These guys kind of took over the radio station this morning.
Well, we usually talk about when the Teen Challenge goes anywhere, we're like moving a small army, so it's the same thing.
It was funny. I wish you could have seen our news director's face when this horde of people came walking through the parking lot toward our building.
We're expected here, actually.
Russell, I'm telling on you because he just ran to the back. He's like,
it's a hostile takeover.
Exactly. And but so tell us, David, about what we're going to introduce.
Yes.
These testimonials.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, just intro that segment for me, will you?
Well, at Teen Challenge, we're a faith-based ministry, and that's hard to say this time of day. But as a faith-based ministry, one of the things that we promote is we believe that Jesus Christ is the center of your healing.
Amen. Amen.
And so one of the things that our students learn to do by the time they leave is be able to tell their story. Now, if you were to ask any of these, if you were to ask Sam or Bobby or Laura or Juanita or Brandon to come and and speak at your group eventually at some point in time, they're just going to tell their story. But one of the things that we do at Teen Challenge is we also enable and put it in the form of a skit, if you will.
Yes.
All of us have our own realities. Mine is different from yours, Cindy, and all of us around in the room here everybody's different. But one of the things that we have instructed our students to learn how to do is to tell the difference between the before and after. And so all of our realities are different. And so what they're going to present to you is what their reality has been.
Awesome.
And so that's what we have. So
all right. Let's kick it in. I think Sam is the first up.
Absolutely.
Come on over, Sam.
What is reality? Reality is having a deep wound of abandonment your whole life because you were adopted at birth and you wonder why your own mother gave you away. Reality is being raped at the age of 9 and carrying the guilt and shame for so long it becomes normal to you. Reality is finding comfort in food and eating your way to over 400 pounds, finding your self-worth in what others think of you until you attempt suicide by hanging yourself from your back porch. Reality is starting drugs at the age of 13, thinking it's just for fun, finding that 6 years later, you have wasted 3 years in jail and rehabs, dropped out of college, never held a job, and constantly brought pain to those who are supposed to matter most to you. Mm-hmm. Reality is your mom, who has always loved you, picking you up from your dealer's house and taking you to a homeless shelter because she does not know what to do with you anymore. So you look at the speedometer to make sure you have no chance of survival and you jump from the car at 45 miles per hour into traffic because not having drugs made life not worth living. How do I know that's reality? Because that was me.
What is reality? Reality is becoming a criminal at age 11 by being arrested for drug possession and a stolen vehicle. Reality is watching your friend die over a six-figure disagreement and you leave him there because you could die with him or spend life in prison. Reality is being more loyal to the gang you're in than you are your two daughters and their mother, only to devastate their lives and leave them by themselves while you go to prison for 2 years over weapons charges. Reality is robbing and stealing from your family and everyone who has helped you and loved you because you would rather get high and feed your addiction. Reality is listening to your daughters cry for you, but you're too selfish to care because you would rather stay in the streets and get high than be with them. But you lie and tell them that you love them anyways. How do I know this is reality? Because that was me.
What is reality? Reality is feeling abandoned and having so much hatred toward God, blaming him for your grandfather's death and your parents' divorce, that you consciously choose to live a life apart from him. Reality is having so much anger, pain, and feelings of loneliness that you begin masking the emotions with drugs and alcohol at the age 12. Reality is becoming a full-blown alcoholic by the age of 16 and living a life that results in countless unhealthy and abusive relationships, over 25 arrests, 9 DUIs, 3 divorces, and 2 felony theft convictions. Reality is being so wrapped up in your addiction and need to be high that you leave your children standing on the porch crying and begging you not to leave them, only to drive off unaffected and return a few days later as though nothing had happened. Reality is hating yourself so badly, being so disgusted at the person you've become, You intentionally tried drinking yourself to death for months, only to wake up daily angry at God for not letting you die. How do I know that's reality? Because that was me.
What is reality? Reality is being so consumed by anger that you intentionally ram your car into your boyfriend's vehicle. What is reality? Reality is getting high on the way to probation, knowing you're facing 5 years in prison. What is reality? Being less than a mile away from your home when you're abducted and attempted to be raped and left for dead, and finally making it home and your kids don't even recognize you. And what is reality? Being hated so much by your brother that he headbutts you and knocks your teeth out. How do I know that's reality? Because that was me.
What is reality? Reality is being sexually abused at age 12 and trying to hold it all together on the outside for your family, but on the inside, it feels like you're dying. And reality is throwing away a promising education and leaving your happy, healthy home to go live on the streets because you'd rather get high than listen to your parents. And reality is losing custody of your daughter and then missing 3 of her birthdays in a row because you can't stay out of jail. And reality is your best friend overdosing and dying, and her boyfriend goes to prison for murder because he's who gave her the drugs, and you have to live with the shame and guilt of all the people you could have killed the exact same way. And reality is nearly killing yourself from shooting up, and your family begging you to make them not have to take your daughter to your funeral, but you still get high the day you get out of the hospital. How do I know that's reality? Because that was me.
Although we all have different realities, we have all been changed by the same truth. And truth is, since coming to Teen Challenge, I've allowed Jesus to be the Lord over my life, and I know that he will never leave me or forsake me. He has healed me of my wounds of abandonment and has made a way for me to have a relationship with my birth mother for the first time in my life. Truth is, I am no longer ashamed of the abuse in my past. I know my God, and everything happens for a reason. And I know my God will use this for his glory. And truth is, over the course of 2016, I lost 178 pounds, and I no longer put my worth or find comfort in what others think of me. But instead, I find my comfort in knowing the creator of the universe rules my life and loves me. And when I graduate Teen Challenge, I have plans of going to school to become a personal trainer. Truth is, the enemy tried to destroy my life through my addictions, but my God has healed me, and I no longer have to run to those things. Because now I have found my purpose in God. Yeah. Truth is, when I gave up on my life, God never gave up on me because he has a purpose and a plan for my life. And through him, I am now set free.
Truth is, even though I have many arrests and multiple felonies, it doesn't change God's heart for me. He still calls me his beloved child. Truth is, God is restoring my relationship with my family and my children, and we are closer to God and each other than we have ever been. Since coming to Teen Challenge, Jesus has shown me what true loyalty is by laying his life down for me. And because of that, I have surrendered my life to him. And he is teaching me how to be loyal to him. Truth is, God is raising me up to be the spiritual leader he has called me to be and let my light shine to those in darkness. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." And now I know Jesus is my Redeemer, and I am more than an overcomer through him.
Awesome.
Truth is, since coming to Teen Challenge on May 8th, 2017, God has removed all feelings of loneliness, abandonment, and fear from my life. He has showered me with his love and increased the desire in my heart to live completely for him. Truth is, I'm being set free, redeemed, and delivered from alcoholism and drug addiction. Now the only thing I turn to for my needs and desires to be met is the cross of Jesus Christ. Truth is, I may have been a drunk and a criminal in my former life, but now my record's clean, and the Lord has taught me how to have healthy relationships and given me people in my life that I can love properly. Truth is, even though I was a neglectful and abusive father, since coming to Teen Challenge, God has restored the relationships with my children. God has proven his faithfulness, and he has blessed me with forgiveness and reconciliation. Truth is, now when I wake up, I'm not cursing God for allowing me to live, but I'm thanking him for giving me new life and saving me. And rather than being suicidal, I choose to die daily to myself and to follow Christ with my whole heart.
And truth is, since coming to Teen Challenge, God has restored my joy and I don't have to be angry anymore. And truth is, God has broken my chains and I'm set absolutely free. And truth is, God has saved me that night. And Jeremiah 29:11 says he has a plan and purpose for me. Yeah. And truth is, God has restored my relationship with my brother, and I know now that he does love me.
And the truth is, God's healed my wounds of abuse, and I now know he has a purpose for me. And the truth is, the Bible says God works all things together for our good. And it has been a long, hard road to surrender. But now that I'm here, I wouldn't trade any of it for the glory I now have in God. And the truth is, on June 19th, I rededicated my life to Christ, and now I'm going to get to be there for all the holidays I always missed with my little girl. And the truth is, God was watching over me. And thankfully, by his grace, I managed to not hurt anybody. And now in my new Christian walk, I don't ever have to go back to that life. And the truth is, God restores families, and currently he's working on mine. Thankfully, he's placed forgiveness in their hearts, and we're all really close again. And Jesus said, "You shall know the truth,
and the truth shall set you free."
All right, Cindy, hold it together here.
Welcome to my world.
That is so powerful. It's like I'm embracing you all. It was all I could do not to just embrace each of you as you walked up here. And just, I appreciate your bravery, your courage. The hardest thing we ever do, like I said, I share my story. I'm a hang glider pilot. I faced homelessness on the streets of Chattanooga. The hardest thing I ever do is be vulnerable and tell my story. And I'm getting braver, and this platform has helped a lot with that. And I thank this radio station for allowing that. Thank you for being brave. And thank you, because it's so amazing what you've done. But your story is going to help others. I did not know about Teen Challenge. If I had known and plugged in, my story would have maybe gone a little quicker. Awesome. You guys, thank you so much. And we still have a couple minutes left. Wow, David, I'm like, that is, what a blessing for you to be selected to manage this kind of organization and this kind of life changing. And it's just incredible. I wrote so many notes and we won't have time to get to it, but you know, I didn't have an organization like a family to plug into, but I had a series. Mm-hmm. I knew that I had the relationship with Jesus. Mm-hmm. And only just recently because I don't focus backwards, but now that I'm telling my story, I have to start looking, and I'm learning from my story. Right. And I thought a lot of my issue was, which it was, that healthy network of support. That is crucial. And that's what Cindy's Choice is all about, is building healthy networks, because I get that. But what it ultimately came down to, I didn't have that healthy network of support. I would find brief networks of support as I was growing and recognizing what healthy was. Exactly. But it's our advocate. Well, and that's what they're getting to know, who their advocate truly is, because that support is reinforcing that on a regular basis. It is. And we don't ask them, we don't expect them to look back. We always want our students, they don't leave this place thinking, I am a recovering addict. Exactly. I'm a former addict. No, you are a child of God and you've got a future ahead of you. Now, do we learn from our past? That's what this skit was all about. But I'll tell you, I've only heard one of these testimonies prior to coming here this morning. And I'm never ceased to be amazed at the grace of God. It's so powerful. It is. I can't wait to have you back, David. This time went by way too fast, but I just wanted the testimonies are so powerful, and I wanted those out there. If you're just tuning in, find this clip on YouTube. Look for Mid-South Adult Center or Teen Challenge. Look for Teen Challenge Cindy's Choice on YouTube, and listen to the whole 20 minutes of these very powerful stories of how Teen Challenge has assisted these young people in completely turning their lives around and completely giving them hope in order to do that. It all starts with hope.
It does.
And having a network of support gives you hope that somebody cares. And there's so many things I related to that these young people mentioned and what they experienced in their lives. And I just hate that this segment's over. Thank you so much. We'll be back. Stay tuned. We have another great second half of the show.
The Tennessee Valley's news talk leader, Nooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM. 3, 2, 1. Chattanooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4, 92.7 FM's news now.
A 20-ton boulder tumbled onto Scenic Highway right near Ruby Falls, and a section of the road had to be closed while efforts were underway to move the heavy object. It's since been cleared, and Scenic Highway is back open. The Hamilton County Sheriff's Office is trying to track down a man who they say tried to steal an ATV at a construction site. When the construction workers tried to confront the man, he ran away, firing shots. The Sheriff's Office says he disappeared into the woods like Rambo. A manhunt ensued, and they still haven't tracked him down. Deputies say the construction workers gave them a detailed description of the man. In Bradley County, a judge denied a motion to dismiss felony charges against Sheriff Eric Watson. 12 felony charges pressed against him for holding vehicle titles that have been altered, falsified, or forged. His defense attorney asking the charges be dismissed, and the judge slapping it down. Russell Stroud, Nooga Radio News Talk 92.7 now.
Sam Jordan, News Talk 92.7 Sports Now. The Chattanooga Mocs used its deepest weapon to capture the first road win of the Lamont Paris era. Squad nailed 12 triples in a 70-67 triumph at Jackson State. Mikhail Foreman tied his career high of 18 points. Nat Dixon added 19, while James Lewis Jr. chipped in 15 points and 9 rebounds. The Chattanooga Mocs now go to a 6-6 record, while their opponent in Jacksonville State goes to 9-4.